What is going on, fellow alchemists? Welcome to Quasi Astrology. I hope you're all doing alright, your chakras are all in alignment, and you're ready to get into this one. But firstly, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for all the support. And did you guys watch the Great Conjunction? I got a chance to look at it with my telescope. It was pretty amazing, pretty next level. I'm really looking forward to the personal effects in my life, not so much in my country. Why do I mention my country? Well, I come from South Africa, if you don't know. And South Africa's national birth chart, the national birth chart, the 8th house is in Capricorn, and we've just had the Great Conjunction there. And it's no wonder suddenly we have this new variant, this new strain of COVID-19, and everyone's blocking us off and completely ignoring us because they don't want anything to do with us. So that should be great. Anyway, so let's get into this one. This is Pluto in the 11th house. I'm trying to finish off this series before the festive break. Well, it is the festive break anyway, but my festive break, and like I said, not planning on going anywhere because I can't, because everybody's blocked us off. Anyway, so let's get into this one.
I'll show the conference what you do with juvenile offenders. You nick them, you lock them up, and you throw away the door. I mean the key. You throw away the key.
So, Pluto in the 11th house. The 11th house is ruled over by, of course, Aquarius, the fixed air sign. Now, in esoteric astrology, Aquarius pulls from the third ray. This is the Brahman ray. This is the ray of active intelligence. This is the point where in your chart you find this star sign, and in this case the 11th house, dealing with the dynamics and rationalizing the logical process of thought, of the mannerisms that thought invokes, and all of their logical analytical processes that then combine in order to establish some sort of order given the chaos that we currently actually live in, the order that is brought through with mind and with the analytical process to bring some kind of construction or some sort of sense into our reality and into the planes that we reside in. So this is why Aquarius can have a very articulate and very strange way of presenting and expressing itself. And that is the same with the 11th house. Any planet that sits inside of the 11th house is pushing the norms of what we understand to be possible in regards to the expression. Now, this is the expression that we go beyond the steps. We go outside of what we believe is the normality of things, and we try and rebel, and we try and stretch, and we try and change and morph and transform and transmutate the everyday status quo into something else. So that's why we deal with the ray of active intelligence, Brahman, and this is about the third ray in esoteric astrology. This is also why in esoteric astrology we find that Uranus is a big ruler in this placement in Aquarius and in the 11th house. Uranus is all about stepping away from the common mold, that electric, airy-like energy that we find on the planet of Uranus, and you find that the step out of the social norms, the stepping away from social norms, stepping away from the status quo, is a very Uranian type of thing that is usually seen with people with very prominent Uranian influences in their chart. So it's a very, very, very prominent place in regards to breaking the mold and stepping outside of that. Saturn also rules over Aquarius and also has a place in the 11th house. That being said, this is not Saturn's ninth house. Saturn's ninth house is Capricorn, which is about rigid government. It's about the very solid, fixated, materialistic nature of Capricorn. And we call Aquarius the day house for Saturn. This is where Saturn becomes the harvester. And of course we have Saturnalia here. This is what Saturn rules over. Saturnalia then turned into Christmas once it was deemed too rebellious, and the levels of revelry were basically comparable to the movie The Purge, you know, where people purged all of their deeper, most sinister ambitions and yearnings through the night and through the couple of days of Saturnalia in the ancient and Middle Ages as well. So when you have Pluto sitting, the god of death, the god of transformation, the god of the underworld, sitting in this very strange, eccentric type of house, the 11th house, which deals with our gains. This is about our gains. It's about our social constructs. Not so much the third house, but because that deals with social constructs as well, because we like to bring around and communicate and talk to people. And it's not so much the gains in the sense of monetary financial gains like in the second house, But what we see here is we're seeing the gains that one can make through the third ray of active intelligence. So this is things that you accumulate through testing the waters, so to speak. You try to test the waters, and through that you accumulate specific gains, you accumulate specific things, specific people into your life. And so you also bring out, because Aquarius and the 11th house therein deals with humanitarian issues. It's a very humanitarian sign. Remember, this is one of the few signs in the zodiac, apart from Virgo, that has human being being resembled, pouring water back into the stream, which is trying to symbolize the connection of the individual consciousness finally returning into the collective consciousness. And that's why the water is being poured back into the tributaries or into the stream, which is then connecting into the greater lake or to the greater oceans. So what we see here is that we see because Pluto is quite domineering, it's about being it's quite a domineering planet. It's quite a powerful magnetic planet, despite the fact that it's a dwarf planet and it was downgraded in 2006 in a French convention that had to do with, in a French astronomical convention that had to do with astronomy. Of course, they downgraded Pluto and tried to move away from the importance of Pluto in the chart. Now, what happens is that Pluto then has the effect of bringing that domineering energy into the humanitarian services. So we see people who have extreme ideas of how things should be and how things should be run and how people should behave with one another and how society should come together. We see people who have extreme, so these ideas are so totalitarian, so draconian sometimes that they can absolutely terrify people. And if these people, find a place of power, well, there could be a bit of some issues could develop from that.
I'll show the conference what you do with juvenile offenders. You nick them, you lock them up, and you throw away the door. I mean the key. You throw away the key.
But at the end of the day, it is a very powerful, prominent position because, again, Pluto brings in that transformation, that ability to work with society and work with this constant status quo and completely reverse it, completely transform it, obliterate it, because it deals with death. And we see us and society splitting away from what doesn't work and sometimes what does work, which can create more problems in the end. But these people are the revolutionaries, but they are the revolutionaries who are prepared to kill other people for this. They are prepared to destroy other people for this. And you must be very careful about this. You must be very careful with this type of energy because it's so prominent in the 11th house, because it deals with so many, because its whole purpose is dealing with humanity and being a service to humanity. And you can hurt a lot of people in the process, and in the process hurt yourself and develop a lot of karmas, which will keep you reincarnating through the karmatic circle of life until you're finally able to disperse and dispense of all of those karmas and finally transverse into the higher ascending arc and into spirit, and finally leave the common, everyday, slow, mundane, solidified, boring nature of existence down here in the lower physical plane. So, fellow alchemists, I hope you really enjoyed that. Please don't forget to subscribe, drop a like down below, go into the comment section down below, tell us what it's like having this placement in your chart, what you deal with, or the consequences that come into your life because of it. And I really hope you have a wonderful time. Please don't forget to join me on Pluto in the 12th house. Watch it even if you don't have the placement, and I'll see you next time with that one. Goodbye.